Okay, YouTube, I'm Rap from Rap's Garage Shop. And this video is how to build a tire changing stand primarily for your dirt bike tires. I haven't tried it on any Harley tires or anything like that, but I will at some point. My video expands from the video that Jay at Dirt Bike TV on YouTube has done. I will link his video at the end of this video, and I'll leave a link down in the description to his video. I'll leave Jay's email down in the description of this video, where he'll send you the blueprints like he sent them to me. These are professional blueprints. I would say it's definitely best that you contact Jay and get these blueprints from him before you start to build this. I'm not going to go through the entire build for this with you. I am going to give you some tech tips that I think will help make it simpler to build. So with all the steel to make the stand, I had to buy specific lengths from the steel yard. And that enabled me to make enough for 2 of these stands. So I am going to make 2 of them. But the one I'm going to make for myself, I don't have room inside to store this. So I'm going to do a few extra things. And then when I'm done, I'm going to paint it. But essentially, I'm going to seal it up so it can't rust from the inside out. That way I can keep it outside and don't have to worry about the rust issues. So one of the things I'm going to do is on the feet, I'm going to cap the ends of it like this so I don't have to worry about water getting in. I did have to spend a little more money to get this 1-inch wide steel that's 0.120 thick, so I can just weld it over the end like that. On the legs, you have to cut a 15-degree angle on both sides, and I used a speed square to get that angle. I also used a Sawzall to cut the steel, and some of the cuts aren't exactly straight because of that. So you just have to keep that in mind when you're welding it to make sure everything's at 90 degrees. I always like to remind everybody, it's Rap's Garage Shop, not Rap's Welding Shop. So be easy on me here. This 2x2 square tube is 120 wall thickness, and this is the main stand in the tube, and I'm welding this 2x2 plate on it so water doesn't get up in it. That's the end cap welded on, and now I'm going to start welding the legs on, and I have a really good tech tip for welding the legs on. My tech tip is this. I had a machinist buddy of mine, 15-degree angle on a piece of steel. You can do this with a 1/4-inch plate, and that's how I would recommend it, and just use the speed square to do it, and a bandsaw to cut it, or some kind of saw to cut it. He happened to do it out a 1/2 inch, so I just put my 90 on there, and I line the angle up with it like that, and then I tack it in. And you can see I already tacked it in. But you could also see it's exactly where it's supposed to be. This helps you set every leg to the exact angle, and I'm also going to use it when I tack the feet on. Like I said earlier in this video, this is going to be kept outside, so I'm going to put paint on all this, but I don't want this section filling up with water. That's where the rod goes down. So they tell you to put a plug in here, but what I did is I took and ground some flats on my plug. You see, like that? So when it goes in, water will be able to drain out from where those flats I ground in there are. I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. So there you can see that plug's welded in, but there's plenty of room for the water to drain out. It's hard to get everything perfectly straight. Like all these legs, it's getting them at the right height. I'm not a fabricator of steel, so that was a little tricky. My main tube coming up is pretty square. But here's your chance at the very end is to just set a level on here, and I'm setting a level in line with the legs. And you can see that bubble on that's pretty close. Right here it's real close. And then right there it's really, really close. If yours isn't as close, then you can grind this such to make the plate level. This doesn't necessarily have to be square to the tube. If you grind it and make your plate level, the stand's not going to fall over. So it's kind of like a little cheat to get it right. That way when you're mounting tires, it's perfectly flat. So here you have the stand finished. You can see I had enough steel to make a second one. And this will do the axles on the bigger bikes since it's 3/4 of an inch. I bought a cutting board off of Amazon and cut a circle out of it. I used a unit bit to drill it. And now you can put your wheel on there and don't have to worry about damaging it when you're changing the tire. If you want to do the smaller wheels with the smaller axle, you cut yourself a piece of 1/2 inch round bar, and then you put the 1/2 inch round bar in here and you could do the smaller wheels. To do this, you can measure down how far it goes, and then you could take a piece of this 3/4, cut it off, and then weld the 1/2 inch rod on it, And then the only thing you would see sticking out is the 1/2 inch rod piece. My tech tip for doing this is I got the 3/4 inch round bar and drilled a 1/2 inch hole through it, and then the rod slips right on it. Now I got 2 of those, and I'm going to space them out about like this, and then I'm going to weld them on both. Then after they're welded on, I can just drop the 1/2 inch round bar in there, and they'll be the right size and it won't move around. So that's pretty simple, nice little tech tip. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps my channel and I appreciate it. Hope this video helps you.